This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. For quite some time now, I have talked about the continued threat that Donald Trump and Trumpists, if you will, the threat that they pose, that continue to pose. And along with that, tangentially, I've also advocated or admonished the audience, those in the audience who say, quit talking about him. Quit giving him attention. He's irrelevant now. And I've advocated that stop being said. Because if you have a leaky roof or a noise in your car in the engine when you drive, you don't not talk about it. You don't address it. You don't fail to address it. You deal with the problem. You face it head on. You recognize it as a problem so as to eliminate it. Otherwise, you just have a wet floor from your leaky roof. And Donald Trump is our leaky roof. Except instead of a flooded basement or a flooded kitchen, there is a threat of violence at the hands of him and his supporters. Well, not him. Because not only is Donald Trump just an authoritarian windbag, he's also a weakling and a coward. He has other people do his dirty work. We witnessed it on January 6th when he's like, and I'm going to be up there with you at the Capitol. I'm going to leave. I'm going right up there. We're all going to go together. And then he retreated to the White House to hide in his secure bunker, like he did during the protests last summer. Weakling, coward, physical, multi-time draft-dodging coward. It's just who he is. And somehow he has bamboozled his fan base, because that's what they are, the cult, into believing he is some kind of a strong man when he's a weakling. This weekend in Sarasota, Florida, Donald Trump went on advocating for the release of the insurrectionists on January 6th. They're released from prison, they're released from incarceration, they're released from charges or accountability is what he's asking for. And in doing so, he also advocated for the lynching of the police officer who took the life of Ashley Babbitt, the insurrectionist terrorist who was killed by Capitol Police. It's a remarkable moment, and this illustrates very clearly, crystal clearly, why we still need to talk about Donald Trump and keep him at the front of our minds, because the movement isn't going away. Watch this moment from this weekend.
And by the way, who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? Who shot Ashley Babbitt? We all saw the hand. We saw the gun. I spoke to her mother the other day, an incredible woman. She's just devastated, like it happened yesterday. Devastated. You know, if that were on the other side, the person that did the shooting would be strung up and hung. Okay? Now they don't want to give the name. They don't want to give, but people know the name. People know where it came from. And it's a terrible thing. Right shot, boom. There was no reason for it. Who shot Ashley Babbitt? It's got to be released. And how come so many people are still in jail over January 6th when nobody paid a price for the fire and carnage and death that took place in Democrat-run cities throughout our country, including Antifa and BLM? How come? How come? And why are our Republican leaders like McConnell afraid to take up the subject and talk about it? Disgrace to our country. We need strong leaders. We need leaders like people like this. With me at the top of the ticket, not a single Republican House member lost their race for the first time in decades. Not one. We were supposed to lose 25 seats.
So two things here. One is this continued cry from the right that this was Antifa. It was a Democrat setup. He's admitting here that his folks are being prosecuted for what they did, their actions. Why are they still in jail when all of the Antifa and Black Lives Matter protests this summer? Whataboutism. The deaths at the hands of Black Lives Matter that didn't happen, hasn't happened. Maybe a few faces got punched, but there wasn't large-scale carnage on the scale that Donald Trump and his idiot followers believe or say or lie about. But this is a dangerous moment from a former president who has no regard for the norms of our democracy, respect for order. Donald Trump respects chaos. That statement alone. Now, if this were the other side, the person who did the shooting would be strung up and hung. That is a further incitement to violence of this trash crowd. Look at the people behind him. Now, you don't judge a book by its cover, but there's a lot of covers there to judge. The remaining most vociferous supporters of Donald Trump are the lowest common denominator in our society. I mean, they did an investigation and revealed that of the very first arrests, like 10% of them actually voted in the election that they were protesting was stolen. That's the mentality that we're dealing with here with Trump supporters. Remember, he loves the poorly educated. The poorly educated who are prone to violence, who are quick to anger, who lack understanding, who are ignorant of the processes surrounding electing a president of the United States, who believe that Mike Pence had some royal authority to overturn the constitutionally outlined process. And we still face a very real threat in this country from these people, from Donald Trump, who is advocating the release of insurrectionists, of domestic terrorists, and advocating for the lynching of the cop. Blue Lives Matter, right? Yeah, until they don't. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would appreciate it. Follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. Consider becoming a channel member, helping support, helping produce my work here on the platform. If YouTube is not your thing and you're more comfortable with a platform like Patreon, I'm also on Patreon. It's patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. You can help support my work there too. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.